It was a mission like no other. Thousands of Afghans escaped their country crammed into the back of military planes. Terrified, tired, and at times travel sick. For the aircrew, it was a humbling and harrowing experience.
The conditions were stark. You know, when you look down the back, you've got anxious faces. You had some people who didn't think they were going to leave Afghanistan. So when they got on board the aeroplane, the relief led to some spontaneous reactions. Like, we had one lady who's spontaneously vomiting continuously all over the aeroplane because she'd lost her husband the day before and she didn't know what was going to happen.
C-17s like this one were able to cram in more than 400 people at a time strapped to the floor, many of them children. They kept flying even after a suicide bomb attack outside Kabul airport left dozens dead. In the chaos that followed, this pilot narrowly avoided an even deadlier disaster when a bus carrying evacuees turned into his path on the runway as he was trying to take off.
We were about 95 knots. And they were about 1,000 feet ahead of us, and we realised that we wouldn't have been able to reject the takeoff because if I tried to reject, then I would have basically cleaned up the bus and taken out the bus, and that doesn't really bear thinking about. So I had to continue the takeoff. We got airborne and we just missed the bus by probably about 10, 15 feet.
It's one of many tales of courage starting to emerge from the 2-week evacuation mission. The Royal Air Force's transport fleet played a vital role in flying families to safety. One of its aircraft tried to land on the day after Kabul fell to the Taliban. The pilot saw the airfield overrun with frantic Afghans clinging to planes on the ground.
We couldn't see the runway till about 2 miles out, and it all looked clear, and then at about 100 feet, a civilian vehicle drove across the runway, hotly pursued by 3 military vehicles. So we had to necessitate a go-around. And on the go-around, we could see the airfield was completely overrun. There was people on the taxiways, people on the southern apron. The civilian airliners that were already parked there were completely covered in people with them on the wings, clambering all over the top of them. It was just utter chaos.
And did you see that American plane that was trying to take off?
That was on the ground when we were there. We obviously didn't make it down on the ground.
Another pilot revealed how the airport had come under mortar fire a day earlier.
The US Marines in the tower called incoming and base under attack. We had some rounds impacting the ground around our aircraft while we howled short of the runway. And I recall an American helicopter pilot calling mortars inbound, and he flew off to have a look at the mortar tube.
No British aircraft were damaged during the evacuation mission, and everyone returned safely, proud to have played their part, albeit a role, in Britain's Afghan retreat. Deborah Haynes, Sky News.